Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for joining us. And today we are looking at exponential graphs. We're still on the curve sketching and transformations topic. And this is the last graph that we're looking at. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so exponential graphs, notice how the word exponential in itself usually refers to a power. And this is so because our x is part of the expression found way in the power. That's the reason why we talk about them as exponential graphs. Okay, so the basic graph is going to be y equals to, I'm going to use b to the power x, and this graph is always going to be of this nature. Like that, passing it 1. Okay, so when we begin to make the transformations to get the expanded form, we say it was equals to abx minus p plus q. Again, we'll look at the transformations that enable us. So we have f of x is equals to b of x, right? That's the one that we're transforming. So the first transformation is going to be exactly the same, x minus p equals to b x minus p. Okay, that's the transformation that comes through. Then the second one is going to be multiplying that, x minus p, x minus p, like that. And then last but not least, we're going to be adding a q there. That's going to be a f of x minus p plus q. That will then give us what we have right there. Okay, so we know about those transformations from previous graphs, and we'll notice that the first one is going to be a translation p units to the right. And then that second one is going to be a stretch a unit along the y-axis. Then last but not least, we have a translation q units along the y. In this case, preferably it's upwards because it's plus q, assuming that q is positive. Okay, so we can take an example. Again, let's give a, p, and q and b values. Okay, let's assume that we're asked to sketch the graph y equals to 2, 3 to the power x minus 4 plus 5. Okay, I'm avoiding the 1. So it's 2 times this here. So given this, we did say that the first graph that we have is going to be the graph for y equals to 3 to the power x, which is going to be this graph. It passes through 1d. Okay, and then the first transformation gives us a translation of p units to the right. So we are moving 4 units to the right. So our graph is going to be move 4 units to the right. The other way to think of moving the graph to the right is moving the y-axis to the left 4 units. So eventually we end up with a graph like this. Just think of where the previous one was. So it's moved 4 units to the left. It looks exactly the same. The only difference is that, again, this will have changed here. You can actually solve for that. That point there. And then the third one is going to be stretching it by a point. So that's multiplying it by 2. But here, let's just solve for that point where it crosses the y-axis. Now, remember where the y-axis is. x is equals to 0, so that gives us y is equals to 3 to the power 0 minus 4, 3 to the power minus 4, which gives us 1 over 3 to the power 4, 3, 9, 27, 81. It's going to be our answer. So it's a very small number, okay? And now we can use that number to then come up with the graph y equals to 2 times 3 to the power x minus 4 by multiplying the y coordinates by 2. Exactly still the same graph. Difference is, when you multiply 1 over 81 by the 2 that we have there, we then get 2 over 81. That's the transformation that we have there. And then the last but not least, we have to translate q units along the y upwards. So in this case, it's plus 5, so we're moving at 5 units going upwards. So it's like saying 5 plus 2 over 81. So it's still the same looking graph. It's not the same graph, but it's still the same looking graph, which we're going to draw there. Okay, so 5 plus 2 over 81 is 407 over 81. It's a bit of a better example, but I had to think of that off the top. Okay, so this is going to be our new graph. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this video, and feel free again to give us any feedback concerning how we can be able to improve the videos for you. We're going to be using all of this here in particular questions that you're given from school. That's the best way we believe that you can be able to benefit. Thank you very much for watching this video, and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.